I think
No.
being stubborn, I think being inconvenient, I think standing up for what you need to get for your life. I think these are very important decisions. It's also like that nobody's coming to save your ass. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be sure that the friends that you're making are good people, that people who are going to have your back, they're going to support you. That 3 a.m. friend is going to come, and you're going to be that friend too. So I think that understanding the balance of that is
Okay.
what gets you the life that you want to live.
Hello, hello.
Ooh.
Meghna, I have to show you
Yanchika.
this. I know you were into
So
accessories,
pretty.
and I'm a
Yes.
I'm a big accessory junkie, though I'm not wearing much right now. But yes.
Yeah. It's the
Anyhow,
bad day.
Meghna, welcome to the podcast. I'm so
Thank you so
excited to chat
much.
with you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
the pre this hello hi chat that we were doing, I realized that I love your energy. I think this is going to be a really fun conversation. So I'm really very
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you. I'm excited too. And let me know when we, come back to the point, because women tell
Yes.
stories like the Mahabharata. The difference between the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Have you heard of that?
I have, I have. So my first question, Meghna, for you is: you were just talking about how you make your clothes your own, and
Yeah.
I can see by the person and energy that you are, and my research, that you're also somebody who has made sure that you've made your life your own. It's not a cookie cutter life that you've picked for yourself.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you've done that, looking back on your life so far.
I think it's stubborn women find their way. And I
Okay.
think that you have to accept that you are stubborn and you're going to be very inconvenient. Growing up, also, it was like refusing. I think my mother says that my first words were like, why? How can my older brother can do something and why can't I? Why? Why
Hmm.
can't I go out and why can't I stay out? So I think that questioning what is, especially, and I will speak especially for the girls today, that we have been brought up also to, make sure that everybody else is fine. In a way, things are changing rapidly today. I have to say that as well. But for me, how it was that I was a very rebellious teenager. I wanted to learn a motorcycle. I learned how to ride a motorcycle when I was just barely 12 years old. So again, these are not things that I would tell my kid today who's 15. And I'm just like, come, I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to ride the bike. And the father is like, no way. You just, wait till he's got his license and everything. So please follow rules, guys. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But
Right.
I think that, being kind of like also by process of elimination, let me say, to live the life that you want to live is the process of elimination, because you also come around to doing things that you're like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I did an MBA, I got a
Hmm.
corporate job. And my first, reaction when I walked into that office was like, hey, man, I cannot do this. I cannot do this, right? But did I walk out right away? No. I believe that anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the stuff that
Hmm.
I gave myself 1 year, I gave myself 1 year that I said, I'll not do this forever, but I will not walk out of it now, because somebody has seen some promise in me and seen something and given me a job. It's a responsibility. So I said, I'll give myself 1 year. And, I joined on the 4th of July and I quit on the 5th of July next year. And
Wow.
honestly, like 8 months down that work that I was doing, I was learning. My learning graph was 23 years old. My learning graph was like this. It was amazing. I had
Hmm.
an amazing boss. I was learning. I was growing. But I said that that's not the life that I want. It was in Mumbai. It was really like fast. Life was fast. There was a lot of um, speed to it. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. So when everybody around you is saying, are you stupid? How can you leave a job that you have, including my family, my friends, everybody? It's not just
Mhm.
your parents, right? It's the peers, it's
Yeah.
everybody who says that you have something and you're giving up on it and you're walking away with it from it. But you have to trust yourself. Like, naukri to mil jayegi na. You have. And it's not like I'm not going to be able to get another job. I will get
Right.
another job, but am I going to get
Hmm.
another take at my life? So I think
No.
being stubborn, I think being
Hmm.
inconvenient, I think standing up for what you need to get for your life, I think these are very important decisions. And I also want to say one thing while I say this, and I think of the young people who might be listening to this, it's also like that nobody's coming to save your ass,
Hmm.
you have to take care of yourself. And I say this for the
Hmm.
girls and the boys, you have to take care of yourself. You have to be sure that the friends that you're making are good people, that people who are going to have your back, they're going to support you. You're going to, that 3 a.m. friend is going to come, and you're going to be that friend too. So I think that understanding the balance of that is
Okay.
what gets you the life that you want to live.
Got it. Okay, I have a question and I'm very, very curious. Um, how were you so sure on day one at 23 that this is not the job for you? This is not the life for you once you saw your office? Where did you find that clarity from? I know you were sure in your head that okay, you will find something else, but how were you sure then? Because
That kind of
23
surety
years
comes
old
from
are
a
lost.
20s, yeah, that 23-year
Yeah.
old kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
But I was actually driving with a friend, and I was listening to a podcast. At that time it was on a tape, it was many years ago, or a CD or something in the car, and it said there was a spiritual leader. We were just listening to something, it just so happened like that, and she said that when you're walking in the jungle, she's like, I just want to give you the story. You're walking in the jungle, and you walked days you walked, and then one day you realize that you're walking in the wrong direction. So now what are
Yeah.
you going to do? What are you going to do? You're in the jungle, you walk days. So are
Hmm.
you going to continue? Now you've already invested so many days of your life. So this lady asked this question that you walked many days in the jungle, and then one day you realize that you've been walking in the wrong direction. So now what are you going to do? And there's no right answer here, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to continue to walk because you walked already so many days, so you may as well go
Hmm.
where it's going? Or are you going to
Hmm.
turn around and walk the path that you want to walk? So it takes a little
Hmm.
bit of that thought, right? And like I said, there's no right answer. But I turned around and I was like, I come from a defense background. Fauji father. My father was a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force,
Oh, amazing.
and my mother is a teacher of many, many years. And she's taught like kids, and she's taught MBA students, and she's taught like army jawans, and she's an English teacher, and she's written books. And today she's 75 years old, and she plays badminton, the seniors badminton across the world. Okay, so great,
Brilliant.
like,
Love it.
yeah, yeah. So, and they also had a mixed marriage. Like, I have to tell you a little bit of that. Like, they met in Kashmir. My father was a fighter pilot, and my mother sang songs, and they fell in love. And she is a Bengali, and he was Punjabi, and she was the first one out of 10 children who married a non-Bengali husband. Okay, and but she also said that कि मैं भाग के शादी नहीं करूंगी, मैं इसी घर से शादी करके जाऊंगी, और इधर ही मतलब everything will
Hmm.
happen properly, but I will marry this guy. So anyway, coming
That's a
from that,
cool mom.
yeah, and coming from that my father was also like, if you think about the life in the services, it's a great life, but money is not the
Yeah. Yeah.
top of life. So my father said that while I'm serving in the forces, you have to complete your education. You have to study as
Hmm.
much as you can study, because study is everything. And
Hmm.
honestly, I finished school and I was like, you know what, Dad, I don't want to study anymore. And my dad was like, 12th khatam kiya hai, what are you unpad? Like, you got to complete your graduation. Graduation khatam karo. तो ठीक है,
Yeah.
ग्रेजुएशन कर ली. उसके बाद ग्रेजुएशन खत्म करी, मैंने बोला, listen, I don't want to study anymore. I don't believe in it's not like I don't want to study. It's just that at that time, there was no knowledge about alternate things that you could study and be, right? I just did
Hmm.
not enjoy the classroom experience of sitting in a classroom and having stuff that was just, you were rote learning. It was just
Hmm.
very, very boring. And I said, मुझे नहीं पढ़नी है, but मुझे और नहीं पढ़ाई करनी. So my dad was like, nonsense. भाई ने MBA खत्म करा है, you will also do your MBA. तो ऐसा करते करते there was 12 years of classroom school education, then 3 years of
Hmm.
graduation, 15 साल, उसके बाद 17 साल तुमने क्लासरूम में बैठकर तुमने पढ़ाई करने की कोशिश करी.
Okay. Hmm.
I was an outstanding student.
Okay.
You know what that means, right?
I understood, of course, yeah.
So
I've done
my
that multiple times,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So I was in the Chai Wali Gali during
Mm.
my MBA, and
Okay.
I'm a non-conformist. I find it I'm not able to fit into like corporate systems and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I just I had to do it differently. But
Right.
education, and I will still say this today, like whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Because today, if you think that, hey, I've got a job and I'm only going to do, just a few hours a day, and it's only going to be for my mental well-being, and a lot of that what I'm hearing today from younger people, hard
Correct.
work, working like for the love of learning, it
Hmm.
it's very important. Because back in
Hmm.
the day also, whatever I learned in that first job for 1 year, I still use
Yeah.
it. I worked in qualitative market research, which was like a feeding for the advertisements that you see today for
Hmm.
what the ads are
Yeah.
made. That
Yeah.
kind of work, even today, if I was to tell somebody, and when I do my entrepreneurship mindset classes, I will tell them that how important research is to find out
Absolutely.
which gap are you filling, what are your competitors doing, what are people's real problems that you're solving. And that was something I
Hmm.
learned in that 1 year job. So you might not completely live that life, but the learnings from there will help
Of
you in life.
course.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
very interesting. Whatever you do today will help you
Hmm.
somewhere. That knowledge will help you in your life. So I feel like it's very important to do that.
Yeah, get knowledge. No, true, true. In fact, like, it's been drilled into my mind by my grandma that your grandpa used to say that padhai kabhi waste nahi hoti. So whatever you
Yeah,
study will obviously come back to you in
yeah,
some shape or form and will be helpful information at
yeah,
some point in time. So
absolutely.
yeah. Okay, Meghna, you mentioned you're a non-conformist, right? Um, I want to know from you, and I often feel that way, that I don't think I fit in a lot of um, labels or groups of people or set cookie shapes or whatever. And for somebody like that, how do they then go ahead and find a tribe of their own? Because yes, you're a non-conformist, but you can't be alone and live this wild, beautiful life. You have to
Yeah,
still find your people.
yeah.
How do you then, or how have you so far found your people who are your friends, family, ride or die, community, 3M friend, like you mentioned?
So it's very interesting because what we have as perception of ourselves, you must go and ask your friend whether
Hmm.
they have what is their perception of you, or ask your family and what is their perception of you. And it will be three different things: how the world sees you, how you see yourself, and how you think that the world sees you. It's all different.
Yeah, yeah.
So and when you like again, coming back to when you choose something, there is an opportunity cost of it.
Hmm.
If as a person, I have chosen, like, I'm a motorcyclist and I'm in the Limca Book of Records to be the first
Right.
woman rider back in 2005, to
Hmm.
ride up to Khardung, which is the highest motorable pass in the
Yeah.
world. Now,
Yeah.
if that's something that post that, I also like then say, let's say now this sounds a little auntie, it might be like that. I got married, I have two kids. I'm
Hmm.
not going. I do. Like, it's like once a year I'll take off on a 2 week ride because I have the support and love of my husband, my family. Everybody will come together to be with the kids and stuff. But
Hmm.
if I have chosen this life, that life, if I was to have become really famous in the motorcycling industry, so to speak,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity cost.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
so having said that, as a person who's creating or looking for something, and you think that, oh, I don't fit in there and I don't fit in there, it's fine. That is the process of elimination, but you can't not do it. You must do it. You must do it. And then come around to saying, okay, listen, I did it and it wasn't my vibe. Sometimes I
Hmm.
feel that even going out and meeting 100 people and becoming friends with two, or
Yeah.
finding two that you connect with, is a great ratio.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I think life is a big, that marketing funnel of tofu,
Yes,
mofo, and
absolutely.
wofu. You talk to
Yeah.
100 people, you'll probably be
Yeah.
friends with one, if any.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think and that kind of connect is very important uh, in life. Some people, of course, I have friends who are very fine with being alone. They
Hmm.
love their company. They do not need, when they come around to it, they're like once in a month, they're like, let's meet, all of that. But after that, it's radio silence, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's also fine. For me, it's like every now and then I need a little bit of interaction, and then I need to kind of
Go
withdraw,
back. Yeah,
and then,
chill.
come out
Yes.
again and then withdraw again. So everybody, and there is no set pattern or there's no set rule for anybody. But having said all of this, I feel that for like somebody in their 20s or early 30s, don't put, like we're saying that, oh, I don't want to be under any label, but don't label yourself also. Because
Yeah,
what happens
yeah.
is, again, I said, like I told you, I said I was a rebel growing up. And today, at some point, like last few years, I was like, I have nothing left to rebel against. कुछ रहा नहीं
Correct.
मतलब मेरे जिंदगी में टाइप्स, ये चाहिए चलो ले लो, ये करना है कर लो, कोई ना नहीं बोल रहा, कोई लड़ाई नहीं है. Then it took me some time to say that, okay, my rebellion is going to be for the women of India, or the,
Hmm.
like the creators of this country, or the craftspeople or the artisans. So I'm gonna rebel for that.
Yeah.
So it became, the cause became larger than yourself. I was a rebel without a cause. I was a kid who just you know wanted my way or the highway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But today it's like, okay, how can I take some people along with me? How can I change some mindsets? How can I bring awareness? How can I do it without being preaching or anything? But dude, there's an alternate way of living your life, and some people can see that. If one person can see this and say, hey, that's an interesting point of
That's
view,
fair. Yeah, yeah.
I think my job is done, right? Like,
Meghna, have you seen that video which is about how to start a revolution? And then there is this one person, one kid on a cliff, okay, and he's dancing. And he wants to get everybody on the cliff to dance. And he says some 100 people. And then one person joins. And it's some TED talk. And how they talk about how finding that one person, that 1 second person who'll join the madness with
yeah,
you and say, okay,
yeah,
cool, you're dancing, I'll dance with you, is what starts that domino effect of, okay, third person joins, fourth joins, fifth joins. But being the first and then the second is probably the most important to a revolution. And that reminded me how you mentioned of being a rebel and starting finding the one person who'll believe in what you believe in, and then you start from there on. You find your community and your people and all those
yeah,
things, right? But yeah, okay, Megha, I want to go back to when you were 23 and you left your corporate job,
yeah.
right? What was life like after? What did you do? I know you went on to start Levitate, but was there something in between that the internet misses, or you don't talk about, or haven't gotten a chance to share much of?
Absolutely. So again, when I quit, and I'll tell you the long format, the long thing, like people
Yes.
laugh at me. But I read a horoscope online.
Okay.
Okay. And there
Okay.
was this guy that I used to follow, and he's no more now. So when I quit Levitate after 18 years, and I said, now what should I do? I want to go back to
Hmm.
that guy who gave me this
Oh,
Vishesh
yeah.
Tippani, like, this Gyan ka nugget, like, kind of thing. And I said, now I'll go back to him, because again, I'm at a crossroad and I don't know what to do. And he's no
Hmm.
more. And I was like, now who's going to save me, kind of situation, right? Like, who's going to tell me what to do? But anyway,
Hmm.
this thing told, this year long horoscope told me, and there was
Okay.
really, yeah, it was a full year thing. And it said that you're basically going to stop doing what you're doing in the middle of the year.
Okay.
You're going to stop doing what you're doing in the middle of the year. You're going to be aimless. You're going to be travel. You're going to move around aimlessly. And it was a
Hmm.
long one. I'm just telling you the
Yeah,
short,
the gist of it.
the
Right.
gist of it. You will move around aimlessly, but worry not, because by the end of the year, you will do something that you will do for many years to come. Now, when
Oh,
you
okay.
read something like this, I'm like, kitab band karo, bag uthao, let's
And
go.
Nikallo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have somebody has my back, like they to, matlab, and people will think
Yes.
that it's stupid, right? But also that you're looking for a sign from the universe, right? You want to,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
somebody else was in a different position and had read this, they would have taken it for something else. So it was also something that
Yeah, yeah.
was, for me in that time, that this was the
Hmm.
message that I was looking for, right? If it had been
Hmm.
some worded some other way, I would have still
Correct.
done
Yeah,
this
yeah. You were
probably
you
my
were
way.
looking for the, like, yeah, just the
Yeah,
go
that
ahead,
right.
and you had
Yeah,
made your mind already.
yeah, exactly. But I have to say that towards the end of that year that I quit, right, I was having
Mm-hmm.
second thoughts, because, like I said, I was getting really good at what I was doing. I was learning a lot. I was getting used to the pace of living in a city like Mumbai.
Hmm.
I was getting used to it. And I was like, hey man, I can do this. So there was that doubt that was coming in, the self-doubt as well, that should I really quit or should I make my life here? Am I being
Hmm.
stupid? Am I just being rebellious for the sake of it?
Yeah, yeah,
These are the
yeah.
self-doubts that you come up with. And then I said, okay, then I was like, no. Then I read this and I was like, okay, we are back on track. This is what needs to be done. So
Okay.
I quit. I quit in July, and imagine my boss, and I'm just like a management trainee, and I've only been there for a year. And she's telling me, why
Hmm.
don't you take a few months off, take a sabbatical, come back? And
Wow.
I'm just like, who does that? Nobody does that. So
Exactly.
obviously,
Yeah.
so again, if you don't want to do something and you do it, but do it well, there will
Hmm.
be there will be people who will stand up for you and help you in the next phase of your life, right? So anyway, I
Right.
quit my job. There was a lot of backlash, so to speak, कि क्या है ये, थोड़ी ना ऐसा थोड़ी ना होता. This is bad behavior, kind of
Huh.
bad decision making.
Correct. Yeah.
I said, okay, no worries. My father was in Srinagar at the time, and I was like, I'll come for a holiday. I went to Ladakh with my mother. We went, and I decided to, like, you know moved to Bangalore because I said I'd never been in Bangalore. As a
Okay.
4G kid, I've lived in every
Yeah.
city, I've visited
Yeah.
most cities. And I said,
Hmm.
Bangalore is the kind of city that I feel I should move to. I'd studied in Pune 5 years. So from
Hmm.
when I was finishing Pune, everybody told me that Pune is a very student town. I don't know if you've been there, but it's a very
I'm
student.
aware. Yeah, yeah. I'm in
Yeah, it's a
Bombay. I
student city.
visited.
Yeah, it's a
Correct.
student
Yes.
city.
Hmm.
So then I was like, Bangalore, I should go next to Bangalore because this is what I've heard of the city, that there are people there who are 40 years old and don't know what they want to be when they grow up. This is what I've heard of the city. So I was like, this gives me promise, right? I will move to Bangalore because then that gives you, like, you can chill and do what you want.
Hmm.
So I'd moved here, I went to Kodai, made like all of that. And then it so happened. And there is no scope of anything else kind of emerging. I've told my parents that
Hmm.
I'll move to Bangalore and I'll find a job and all of that. And that
Hmm.
I had no intention of doing that after I moved to Bangalore because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be corporate life ki chakki pissing after doing all
Correct.
this, leaving the
Yeah.
job and everything. Now go back to that. I don't want to do it. So I said I'll bide my time. But what happened was that my friends at the time were starting a restaurant, and
Hmm.
they said, Meghna, you've been thinking of doing something of your own. Why don't you
Hmm.
start a store or something? That's what you want to do. Why don't you start it? And I had an angel investor friend who gave me some money, and I went on a trip and I got stuff made and I got stuff and I started this tiny store in the back. There's a restaurant, and at the back, on the first floor, in the back of that restaurant, there was my store, and it was called
Yeah.
Levitate. And like
Right.
they said, you need a village to come together. And I started that store on the 18th of December,
Okay.
and I ran it for the next 18 years. So sometimes you got to follow the science, and you got to
Hmm.
like, just go
You
for
know
it.
what? I'll tell you something really funny. I
Yeah,
think my aunt has picked some jewelry for me from your store back in the
I can
day and brought it for
imagine.
me when I was little because she
Oh,
was a new, like an
yeah,
employee in those days, and
yeah,
she was
yeah,
buying stuff. And she told me I found from a shop and there's a bar and then there's this tiny shop.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
probably
yeah,
might be there.
yeah,
I'll go
yeah,
check with
yeah,
her and
yeah,
let you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But
that's what where
yes.
we were. The 100 feet boutique restaurant was one of the first restaurants on a very popular stretch in
Yeah.
Bangalore. It's called
Yeah.
100 Feet Road, and that was one of the first restaurants. And I had my shop in shop with them, and it was a bar. And
Hmm.
who does that? That concept also was, who runs a store
Very
in a
new.
bar? Who
Correct.
does
Yeah.
that, like in a Mediterranean restaurant, but it also had a bar attached or whatever. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
yeah, we did a whole journey there, and honestly, it was something very special because Bangalore really doesn't have anything like that anymore. And it's many times that I feel that, oh, we should do something, but retail is very difficult today. We really need a lot of money. I feel like it's deep pockets, and we're looking for sponsors. Anybody watching this has lots of money and wants to sponsor the
Yes.
resurgence of
Okay.
craft and design in Bangalore, hit me up.
We'd find it for you. We'll find it. Fingers crossed. But Meghna, why accessories? How come that was the
I
one thing
think
that you
also
went for?
I spent many years as a child in Gujarat.
Okay.
And then I spent my teenage years were in Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
Okay, got it.
So
Mm.
when I saw the women there, I used to be like mind blown, right? Like just so much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that whole maximalist vibe, matlab, mujhe
Yes.
bas, and I always felt I would be like, mujhe le jao, ghar le, matlab, I also want to come and live that life, you know?
Yeah. Mm.
So seeing that, I think, and I was always blown away by the craftsmanship because I felt like that was true rocket science, you know, in that sense कि जो इंसान ने हाथ से बनाया है, मतलब
हाँ. Mm.
हाथ से बनाया है, something has been hand stitched. These are like hand woven. These weaves are like
Yeah.
hand done. My
Each
God,
of
it
those
just
things,
I
correct.
get
Yeah.
goosebumps. So and I am a, you know, I'm a maximalist. I love more is more
Hmm.
and less is a bore. That's it. You know, there is, it's not, minimalism is not my vibe, as you can see in my house also. Like,
Yeah.
but so yeah, accessories all the way. I think if you were talking from a stylist or a styling perspective, I think you can take a plain something and change the accessories and change the
Yeah.
entire look, and you can restyle something over and over and over again. So
Hmm.
that is very important.
Okay, Meghna. So tell me, what were the early days of Levitate like? And 18 years into it, Meghna then and Meghna at the 18-year mark. What was the difference? What have
Yeah.
you learned about the business and yourself?
Yeah. So when I started, I really had nothing to lose, you know. I had nothing to
Hmm.
lose in that sense that I was just so driven ki apna hi kuch shuru karenge,
Ha.
and hard work. It was not like I used to be I because we were at a restaurant that was run by young people. It used to be open till
Hmm.
midnight. So every
Hmm.
night you'd be up there till midnight trying to get people, and then you realize that you think you have created something so special, but getting people from the ground floor to the first floor to my store
Yes.
Levitate was such a
Yeah.
challenge. And I'm telling them, I'm like, it's beautiful. You will come there, your mind will explode. But they're like, but क्या है बोल दे ना इतना क्या फोटो दिखा दे ये ले मतलब नीचे ले आ मतलब I am just like,
Yeah.
so you thought that, you know, because of what you have put into it, the world will just
Also appreciate it. Yeah.
appreciate everything, but you know, nothing to lose. So a lot of daring. Like I said, I'm also
Hmm.
a motorcyclist, so I used to ride my Enfield back in the day. And
Hmm.
what we did was that, okay, listen, this restaurant has started, and I like these young guys running it, and we are all this energy. But how to get people in, right? Like, na abhi restaurant शुरू कर दिया है, अभी
Correct.
हमें the जनता किधर है,
Next
मतलब
step.
kind of thing. Next step, बोला
Yeah.
लोग किधर है? You can't keep waiting for like one person to walk in, one person walking, everybody's waiting for that person, right? Like,
Hello, hi. Yes, exactly.
and we're not like, I mean, even today, after so many years, I see myself as an outsider, having lived in Bangalore for almost 25 years. I am,
Yeah.
you know, so there's a difference. But uh, coming back to like, how did we do this? I said, I got on the bike and I said, I'm going to the Bangalore Times office.
Okay.
And I walked into the office and I was like, you know, this like editor se milna hai kind of situation. And they said, there he is. Editor is sitting there. Editor is like one of the, where one of all his people. He's sitting there. And I'm like, sir,
Hello.
Alan Mendok, hi, sir. Actually, you know, we are these people. We have started this restaurant, this stores. There's a shop, this crazy shop in this restaurant. You know, we wanted to invite you to come see it.
Hmm.
Straight
Hmm.
to the editor. Okay. I mean, today it's a little, you have to know the uncle and the chacha and the mama and the
Yeah.
bhanji and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
was just like we walked in. He was so approachable, such a wonderful
Hmm.
setup. And he said, looks at the watch, can we go now? So I said,
Wow.
now. I said, sir, I'm on my motorcycle. He's like, you know how to ride, right? I'm like, yeah, I know how to ride. He's like, you can take me, right? I'm like, yeah, I can take you. You'll drop me back. I'm like, yeah. He said, chalo, let's go then. Picked up his notebook and I'm just like, and then I'm calling Mayur on the side and I'm like, dude, editor Bangalore Times is coming to your restaurant. You better be ready. Like, he's like, what now? Like, what is going on? So it was all this excitement. And we just, I took him there and then these guys fed him. I showed him the store and he
Yeah.
was like, wow. He said, okay, let me see what I can do. Such a small article came out in Bangalore Times. It was literally, it's so small, and it just said like how these young kids have started something and Bangalore, go check it out, and the food is really nice and
Hmm.
the store is really fun, and it's like this much. And the next thing we knew, it was like big Mercedes and this car and that
Ah.
car stopping outside this restaurant and being like, really, this place, you know? But once you walked in, it was really
Mm.
nice, and the food was really great. So people then started saying that, oh my God, actually, like the biryani is really nice, and the cannelloni is really good, and the Chinese, of course, is really good. So, and that really gave us an impetus to, uh, build from there, so to speak. I'm so
Mm.
eternally grateful. But I think that little bit of daring,
Yeah.
I think that daring, and when I shut 18 years later, it's like a hero's journey, like in that sense that I felt like I had a pity party.
Oh.
I had a pity party. All my friends came. I'm crying. I'm like 18 years, like this, that, of something that you built. And now what? So in my
Yeah.
head, I went from hero, like everybody in Bangalore knew the store, like how, beautiful stories, like how your arm,
Hmm.
everything, all of that. Gifts. People show me, look at this.
Hmm.
I'm still wearing it from like that store and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
now it's done and you're closing and I went from hero to zero. I had no money. I was a
Okay.
entrepreneur with no money. I was a motorcyclist with a really old bike, couldn't go anywhere. I was a
Hmm.
traveler with again no money. So I become like I went from zero. I went from real hero to zero.
Okay.
And it was COVID.
Hmm.
So things were really tough. And I went through a really dark time of my life. Corridor. Like I would say tunnel. It was a black tunnel.
Yeah.
And it was difficult, but also what happened is that I realized that after having driven by passion, you want to do this because you want the world to see this with
Hmm.
Levitate. When I shut shop,
Hmm.
it was like I didn't know where to step because everything was so dark. I didn't know which
Hmm.
direction to go in you know and but I also say this, that I tell people today all the time that don't just rock the boat. It's very important to capsize your
Okay.
boat. Capsize your boat,
Hmm.
because what you put back in the boat, we often carry
Hmm.
too much extra luggage. And
Hmm.
everybody's like, don't rock the boat, don't rock the chal rahi hai zindagi, chalne do, don't rock the boat. No, rock the boat, capsize the boat, and then put what is really important in your boat. So I think for me also, and then going through that dark tunnel, that really dark space, it gave me time to really think about what I wanted to put in my boat and how I wanted to live
Okay.
my life, right? And I gave myself that time.
Hmm.
I was depressed, I was sad, I was like, there's but I had some. I also felt how I got through that was also access to outdoor spaces, access to a farm that I have outside of Bangalore where I took my kids and I spent 3 months of COVID. And it really
Hmm.
gave me perspective to say that really what you need is nothing but food on the table and friends. And I wore the same 10
Yeah.
clothes for 3 months.
Hmm.
And I realized that, how do you make meaningful, sustainable fashion? And how do you create without wasting, right? Like there is no sustainable fashion because the most sustainable thing is already in your wardrobe. It's already in your cupboard.
Yes.
Please
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
that. Use that. Style it different ways. So I came
Hmm.
back to saying that I will not create any more product. I will not create any more product because how much ever you look at it, there will be wastage. You will create a range, and then tomorrow you'll be like, oh, that went out of fashion. And so I must now put it on sale
Yeah. Bring
and
the
then
new one.
recover
Yeah.
my cost and, bring a new thing and all of that. So I said, I'm not going to do that.
Hmm.
And that was also like a learning for me. I'm not going to do something that doesn't fill in the blank.
Yeah.
That's always been something that drove me. And one more thing that really always I kept at the back of my mind was, if you can't be the first or the best, just be
Hmm.
different and you'll find a
Hmm.
niche,
Right. Yeah.
So I think that was, and I was lucky enough to say that I was not supporting a family as such. I was taken care of. You had basic needs were taken care of. Kids were going to school. Utna sab kuch chal raha
Hmm.
tha. So
Hmm.
you were able to say, okay, I'm going to give myself some time. I think it was very
Yeah.
important to be in that. dark space, to sit in it, to feel it. हम लोग क्या करते हैं ना, उसको छुपा दो उसको under the carpet, चलो चलो सब ठीक है, let's go. But
Right.
it's very important to be in it. Give it time. Obviously, you have to give it also a sense of time.
Hmm.
I'm going to be sad today, and that's fine, because the sun also doesn't shine every day.
Hmm.
But my there was some learning for me was this, that even the sun rises and sets at a certain time. So if I'm
Correct.
going to
Yeah.
decide to be sad today, I have to end it
Hmm.
by this time. I have to get out of it. I cannot be endlessly sad.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do about it? Let's
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm going to be in it. It's very important to experience it. But also say, मुझे 3 दिन, 5 दिन, 7 दिन किसी से बात नहीं करना, मेरे को अंधेरे कमरे में बैठना. Do what you want, but also say after that, I will find
Hmm.
solutions. I will talk to people. I will seek help.
So, Meghna, what was the light at the end of the tunnel? I don't know how much time you sort of gave yourself. You said, okay, 3 months, 6 months, one
Yeah,
year, whatever the time might be. But how did you then come out of it? What was the one thing that made you say that, okay, fine, now I'm done. I have taken my
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Let me go figure out what next. And how did you do the figuring out what next journey also?
So interesting, because at that time when I said I gave myself a year and I said I'm not going to
Yeah.
do anything for a year, that was actually my promise to myself, because we all come from this doing energy where your value is placed on what you do in life.
Hmm.
It's not on who you are, it's on what you do. So I said, I'm not going to do anything for a year and I'm going to give myself that time. But every time
Okay.
somebody asks me, oh, you shut Levitate, now what you're doing? And I'm like, shit, man, I should be doing something. No, I'm not doing anything. You know?
Hmm.
So that post that, there's a very dear friend of mine who had started a charity thrift in Bangalore.
Okay.
It's called the Preloved
Yeah.
Co.blr. That's our
Hmm.
handle on Instagram. And so she had started this, and she'd then become a health coach, and she started her own health food kitchen in Bangalore. So she was like, Meghna, there is this that is sitting on the back burner, and I think that we can do really great work. You already have the expertise with fashion, with styling. You've done it for so many years. Why don't you take this on and let's build something with it? Because I think post COVID, everybody realized, like I did, that, how much do you really need? You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
and obviously people had also lifestyles had changed. People
Yeah.
who were partying so much, had all the high heels and the fancy clothes. They realized that they don't want that anymore and they were ready to get rid of it.
Hmm.
So she said, this is a great community. I've already built the community. I need help because I don't have the time to do it. And why don't you take it on? So I did.
Hmm.
In 2021, I started building the community for the Preloved Co in Bangalore. And we had already done many events and stuff like that. So when that started happening again, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to stand for. Because here it ticked off all the boxes that I did not want to create any more product.
Hmm.
I wanted to have like a space which celebrated circular fashion.
Yeah.
And I think this was a great change making conversation that could be had.
Hmm.
So then I drove that and we built community and we did really well. And we are still now, we have a little garage around the corner where we are Bangalore's only charity based thrift store.
Hmm.
And of course, now that I run another brand, my contribution logistically and in person is a lot less. And
Yeah.
I work on consulting with them and how, again, to build a brand. It's not about selling a 500 rupee Zara dress or something like that. It's about what
Yeah.
you're building, right? How are these conversations continuing? How to introduce the conversation to a non-thrifter, right? Like they are, what you buy
Yeah.
secondhand clothes? Why would I do that? Why would
Hmm.
I do that? That's a totally different conversation. Right? When I have the money, I'm earning money. Why should I be buying? There are like all kinds of things that you would hear about it, right? There's
Yeah.
energy attached to these clothes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is it? Is it? Okay. Wash, won't a wash help it? Like, won't a dry clean take out that? Did you ever
Yeah.
ask Mintra, like when they come to deliver, that who all has tried these clothes before?
All of you buy
So
new clothes for all you care.
yeah,
I think they
yeah,
are less cleaner than the others.
yeah, yeah,
All the lipstick stains and whatnot. But
I
yeah.
know.
Okay, so Preloved, tell me more about, okay. Um How do you solve these problems? These are very, very interesting questions and business problems to solve in the circular economy or thrifting.
Yeah.
How do you explain people why they should make the switch? It's easy to sell to a convinced customer. How do you find more convinced customers um,
I
for
think that
thrifting, for the
I think that the
economy?
value of what is available is often a great deciding factor. If
Hmm.
this is not thrifted, but a lot of my clothes are, and if I stand there and say, listen, this is thrifted, this is, I paid 500 rupees for this, and they're like, what, that? So that
Yeah.
changes, because there you have value. Today you stand on the road and you ask somebody for 5 rupees or 10 rupees also, they're not going to give it to you.
Hmm.
So when you are talking about, and people often say that don't put charity in this, this is not a guiding reason for somebody to buy,
Hmm.
because the main thing is that we do really great fashion.
Correct. Yeah.
We do actually really great fashion. So when somebody is getting value, you're giving 500 rupees, you're getting something
Hmm.
in exchange for it, which is really great. Your job is done. So I think that the best way that people help themselves is, I mean, help another person is help yourself.
Hmm.
So how do you help somebody else without without going out of your way, actually, without really any effort? You help yourself. You help yourself in the way that, like, people would call us and say, like, I have an overflowing cupboard. That stuff doesn't fit me anymore. I want to sell it. Now I'm like,
Hmm.
listen, we are a charity thrift store. We don't buy clothes. We only work with donations. But trust me
Hmm.
on this. Today you start saying that I'm going to sell it. 6 months later, you will call me again saying, you know what, that didn't work out. It's too much work. I'm ready to donate it. So I said, jump. If you want to spend that 6 months, please go for it. But if you're ready
Yeah.
to let go of this excess that you've been holding because I spent money on it, because
Hmm.
I've had it for so long, it's like, that kind of stuff, then it doesn't you can't
Yeah, you don't fight it
sorry.
so much.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But people then realize that, okay, oh, you're not paying me for it.
Hmm.
Firstly, you're not paying me for it, you're not collecting it from me. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
amazing how this movement started in Bangalore, and you should check it out. We don't buy, we don't
Hmm.
collect, we don't give you any tokens back for, like,
Correct. Yeah. Shopping again. Yeah. Hmm.
we don't do any exchange kind of situation. But
Hmm.
people are doing it, and they believe, and they are right, because every now and then you will see 50,000 rupees donated here, 40,000 rupees donated there,
Hmm.
and it's
Hmm.
constantly happening, whatever. And we are saying that while we are able to save things from landfills, keep your, like, get new fashion. Every time I go to give stuff, I'm like, oh my God, nice dress. I
Yeah.
have to give out five, get one. It's a great thing. But people, like you said, it's a very difficult conversation to have. And, but it is an ongoing conversation.
Hmm.
It's something that
Yeah.
once you take a step back, and if I've interacted with you, and then you'll be like, these guys do such a great job. And then it's like
Yes.
true ambassadors of your brand, and the whole,
Correct.
the
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
sustainable community and the circular community
Hmm.
that you're building, and they'll come in and be your ambassadors and talk about your brand. That's the key here.
Fair. Okay. I think you've also, of course, you've picked these lessons to sort of build the Bindi project also.
Yeah,
My question is, okay, so we covered Levitate and how that happened. We covered how the Preloved go happened. How did Bindi happen from this one to that
yeah.
one? What was the jump like? And what
So
have you
there was,
carried
yeah,
from these
yeah,
two experiences also?
yeah. That's so interesting that you should ask me that, because so when I shut Levitate, I still have like a go down full of, like, props and stuff, and, like, there's lots of stuff that I have to cleanse. But it's like there's lots of work there. But
Hmm.
all these broken bits of jewelry and my tools, I used to work with a lot of leather, and I used to work with broken bits of jewelry to make stuff back in the day.
Hmm.
And there was a conversation about with somebody while we were doing the pre-loved co at something, and it was about gold bindis. I
Hmm.
heard for the first time that there was something like the gold bindi that used to be reusable
Yeah.
and came with a reusable glue. Back in the day, it used to be wax, but these were
Yeah.
bindis that were handed down generationally, grandmother to daughter to, like that. and it was reusable and worn for special occasions. मैंने सुना ही नहीं था
Hmm.
कभी ऐसा, कभी concept ही नहीं सुना ये कैसे हो सकता है.
I recently watched a reel. This woman was wearing a
Yeah,
gold bindi for a wedding, and I was so
yeah,
shocked. But yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is the way that things were. The fact that it was reusable, because I think from when I started Levitate, we used to be, we were trying to be as sustainable as possible. Where even our
Hmm.
packaging was like upcycled newspapers made from, made with people who were physically challenged. It was always some kind of like, circular effort that was going in to kind of
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
keep things going. So this conversation really intrigued me. And then I went home and I also little had my tools and my little beads and my bobs and all of that. And I said, okay, let
Hmm.
me just try to create something. Let's see what we can do. And that was the first thing that I made. And I remember again when I started, and I used to make sure that every pack of bindis was different. So the initial people who bought bindis from the
Yeah.
Bindi Project were all different. There were no two pieces alike. And today, of course, touch wood, we've grown
Yeah.
to certain numbers that don't allow for that.
Hmm.
But still, we create our design such that there is something exciting about it. And
Right.
we still take from upcycling. We upcycle scraps of leather. We upcycle scraps of textiles from our friends who work with handloom
Right.
fabrics. So we take those scraps and then we create bindis. And of course, I used to do jewelry. So a lot of that, from like little gemstones and bracelets
Yeah.
to look jewel like and create the bindi that is jewelry, like, you know. So it's been interesting.
All right. That sounds really fun. I think I would have loved to see the early designs where you were just, having fun.
Yeah,
And in
yeah,
fact, those paper packaging, I think I saw a video long back of this piece also where somebody was showing how you do really, really like a retro style of bindi, but let's make it
yeah,
cool, which is okay,
yeah,
we'll do it the
yeah,
original way where we wrap it in paper and the full
yeah,
experience
yeah,
of
yeah,
buying it from a shop.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that sounds very, very exciting actually. But okay, my question to you is so you've been working with women, particularly who are buying these
Yeah,
accessories and
yeah.
bindi. And this is all for beauty, and beauty and vanity for women has multiple connotations to it, and multiple conversations around it. One line of it is okay, we don't want our daughters to look pretty or like to dress up so much because what attention and whatnot. And then you learn to not appreciate that side of yourself. Second would be, but no, after you get married or after you become a certain age, you have to look pretty and you can't be without some element, some accessory, some beauty thing on your face. So, this idea of beauty and women and just more than self-expression, that categorization of okay, I'm a young girl, I'm a old woman, I'm a married woman, I am a divorced woman, and the roles it plays of telling the world what it actually is. Have you seen that happen with people around you? And I'm sure like with the Bindi Project I can clearly tell that you don't want those labels to sort of exist.
Hmm.
But what have you observed when it comes to women's attitudes and relationships with accessories in general?
I think that the what for me, what really drives me is the women's relationship with themselves, actually.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's not about outer beauty or accessories or bindis, for that matter. You
Hmm.
wear or you don't wear, it doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
think that the minimizing of self, I think the
Hmm.
minimizing, the unseen is what disturbs me. So when I am,
Hmm.
and I've spent a couple of years on the ground with the Bindi Project, and it's not only now that I'm interacting with women. I've been doing it for the last 25 years.
Correct. Yeah.
I used to sell really big nose pins back in the day when nobody was doing it. In like
Hmm.
2002 is when I started my store.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nobody was doing it. So, and here I am in Bangalore city where women wear these diamond screws. They wear it with a screw nose pin. So there's no way that they're taking it off. It's something your mother put on and you're not taking it off. And here I was convincing them that you take that diamond nose pin off, you put it aside, and here I'll give you these very exciting, very beautiful non-gold pieces,
Yeah.
and you will trip on it. It'll be beautiful.
Hmm.
So it was not an easy conversation back then either. Because what did I
Yeah.
hear then? You can carry it off. It looks really good on you. I can't carry it off. My husband will throw me out of the house. My mother will disown me. My children will not talk to me. All these I've been hearing, and it's still
Hmm.
the same. So whether I was selling nose pins back in the day or I'm selling bindis today, where we have created
Hmm.
a brand new category. There it's not a
Yeah.
product anymore. It is a sense of self. When
Yeah.
women look at the
It's a
mirror,
statement.
oh,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm looking so bad. No, like I'll tell you what, 1%, or chalo, let me just be very hopeful. I'll say 10%.
Yeah.
10% of women will look at themselves in the mirror and say, wow, kya lag rahi hu main aaj? We have
Hmm.
not been brought up to be appreciating of ourselves. So should we, should I, when my husband's back home from work, Mayur, we are at a podcast. Sorry. Like, so just 1 second. Anshika,
Yeah,
Mayur,
yeah, no worries.
Mayur, you can't, you will have to give me, how much time do we need?
We'll do
How
10
much time?
minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, 10 minutes, Bobs. 5, 10 minutes.
Hmm.
You know, can't. No, but you can't. Okay. Okay, Bob. Like, कहाँ बैठूं मैं अपने घर में? हाँ, so
But yeah, you were
that is the
talking about
key.
how you make women impossible to ignore.
I think that is the key today. That
Hmm.
how do we stand up for that? Like I said, it's about, and we're not talking about beauty. We're talking about shringar. And again,
Hmm.
is it something that I don't want to be noticed?
Hmm.
Or is it something that I really enjoy, like, getting dressed? Does it mean I'm less intelligent because I
Hmm.
enjoy fashion? These are notions that we also need to kind of address, but that's a long conversation. But essentially, that whole concept of I don't want to be too much, seen too much. I want
Hmm.
पतली गली से निकलना है, पतली गली से कोई देखे ना मुझे ऐसे मैं ना साइड से निकल जाती हूँ. टाइम
Hmm.
नहीं है अभी, वो टाइम जा चुका है. You can't
Hmm.
be that. You can't be that. And everybody appreciates a confident woman. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
every woman appreciates another confident woman. But
Hmm.
for yourself, nahi, I can't do it. You can carry it off very well. अरे,
Yeah.
आप
Yeah.
पहनो
I've heard
इसको.
that so many
Go
times.
see
Huh.
it. Go see it. Just do the round. If you don't get compliments, you come throw it back in my face. That's the kind of dialogues I give out like that only. I'm like, compliment नहीं मिला, एक कमरे में आप घूम कर आओगे, compliment नहीं मिला. बिकॉज इट्स नॉट अबाउट दिस. मैं ये साइज की बिंदी पहनती हूँ, मेरा मेरा चेहरा छोटा है, मेरा फोरहेड बड़ा है, मेरा मेरी आंखें छोटी है, मेरे चीक्स बड़े हैं, मेरा चेहरा गोल है. आई मीन लाइक, आप पर्सनालिटी, वुमन,
Yeah.
इट्स योर पर्सनालिटी. कैन वी
Yeah.
ओन दैट? कैन वी ओन दैट? एंड आई थिंक it's beyond. It's not, we don't sell bindis at the Bindi Project.
Hmm.
We want you to see how beautiful you are through our eyes, how I see you, confident and beautiful, and I hope that one day you can see that for yourself. So it's not about just bindis.
That is very, very sweet, Meghna. With the business, what's next? What are you looking forward to?
We are taking the bindis to the world. We have a huge community in the rest
Hmm.
of the world. And
Yeah.
I think that if Korean fashion can be a thing and Scandinavian homes can be a thing, then Indian bindis
Yeah.
can be a thing. We can style it. And it
Absolutely.
has been. It's not like it's not been done before. Madonna's worn it, Gwen Stefani's worn it. Like there are so many,
Yeah. I remember Selena
so many
Gomez wore
artists
it, and it
worn.
was such a
Yeah,
debacle.
Selena Gomez, yeah, wore it. But this whole thing about, okay, let me also ask about like um what is what's the word when you wear something from somebody else's appropriation?
Appropriation. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are you appropriating something? Like today, I see this in Bangalore, and I'm sure in the rest of the country as well, that you have
Hmm.
mixed communities in apartment complexes, right? You have like these 2,000 apartment
Yeah, yeah,
complex,
yeah.
and everybody's living there, and you have uh, you know so you have all these people living in very large condos and apartment
Hmm.
complexes, and then you have
Hmm.
Tamilians married to Sardars, and you have Bengalis married to Punjabis, and all of this, right? And you're celebrating a festival, and that's something that everybody's showing up for. So if
Yeah.
it's Onam, everybody's showing up in that white sari, and so is that appreciation or is that
Ah,
appropriation, right? Like, you know what I
appropriation.
mean?
That's a fair question. You know what I think, Meghna? I
Yeah,
think it's about acknowledgement, which is
yeah,
often missing. Like,
yes,
you can't go out and
absolutely.
say, "Oh, it's a sticker." Like, okay, call it bindi. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
chai ki
yeah,
latte is still
yeah,
fair because okay, fine, you
yeah,
still
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
Like, chai tumne fir bhi
yeah,
bola,
yeah, yeah,
but like, it's not bindi sticker. No, it's bindi. Call
yeah,
it bindi. Call it bindi sticker for it. Just don't say it's a like
yeah.
face
Forehead stick
embellishment,
face. Yeah,
whatever, or like Scandinavian
yeah,
scarves. No, fine,
yeah,
it's a dupatta scarf. Dupatta kind of
yeah.
stuff. Fair. Like
But
acknowledge.
that's
That is
also
one thing.
like, and I'll say this now today as um country that's emerging, and the young people with access to international audiences and
Yeah.
platforms, like if it was Instagram or whatever. See,
Hmm.
like, and I meet a lot of people when I'm giving my talks, or like, that, oh, we're glad you're bringing the bindi back, because for some reason I'm a techie and I moved to the US like 30 years ago or 20 years ago, and I had to stop wearing my bindi because I was called names and whatever. So there was a time
Hmm.
when the Indian audience in the West
Yeah.
was repressed. So whether
Correct.
it was
Yeah.
the Sardars who had to cut their hair, or the Indians who had to stop wearing bindis, or there were
Hmm.
situations over time that you had to give up something that you held
Yeah.
as part of your tradition, right? And today you have access to so much. So if somebody is trying to call it something, there are 10 people who are saying, "Man, stop this," and that
Yeah.
that clipping or that information is being shown to the rest of the world. So
Hmm. Correct. Yeah.
there are platforms today, and today is even more a reason to kind of be respectful, do it, but make sure that your point of view is something that you let the world know about it, with research, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think
In
that a
fact,
lot of things
those
have
lamps,
changed.
that's paper lamps, they make those origami lamps from
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Japan. I don't remember what they're called exactly. But the pride that one finds in saying, okay, it's a Japanese style of lamp that I
yeah,
have in my
yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah,
If we
yeah,
could just find that pride
yeah,
with bindis, like, okay,
yeah,
it's an Indian
yeah,
style of embellishments on my face that I have. That is
yeah,
fair. Like,
yeah,
that's all we
absolutely.
want when it comes to, okay, don't
Yeah,
appropriate our culture, but also appreciate it and use it and
yeah, yeah.
accept
And why
it
not?
like
Like,
that.
why not? So, yeah, I mean, people in Bali, in Thailand, it was
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, it's a
everybody,
big thing.
Sri Lanka, like, then they stopped
Hmm.
wearing it because they were, being identified as Tamilians. So they had to stop wearing it.
Hmm.
So the bindis became really a tiny dot in, say, a city like Hyderabad, because it was Nizam country, and all outward
Correct.
representation of Hindu culture that women usually have, that was
Hmm.
annihilated. So I'm not getting into the politics or the religious aspect of the bindi. I'm talking about shringar. I'm talking about self-expression. I'm talking about
Yeah.
adornment, and I'm talking about embracing your inner goddess. That's
Yes.
what's driving me. I think that every woman needs to embrace her
Hmm.
inner goddess.
Hmm. Fair. Meghna, okay, I have a question for you. Assume somebody is buying from you online. Okay. When you buy offline, I'm sure they get the Meghna experience and they can get to
Yeah.
hear from you and talk to you about everything, right? If somebody is buying online, what do you want them to know about this bindi that will arrive at their doors?
The fact that it's a reusable bindi, comes with a
Hmm.
skin safe adhesive. It comes with a
Okay.
glue that you can reuse your bindis. These are bindis that we are our vision is collectors items. These are
Hmm.
luxurious, the first ever design forward bindi brand in your closet, that elevates your look. आपने
Yeah.
नहीं पहना तो एक थोड़ा सा लुक है, आपने पहना तो नजर यहाँ पे है. So that the fact that it's infinitely reusable.
Hmm.
It's not
And
a
you can
use
also
and throw
like keep
product.
it. It's a
It's
keepsake also of
Yes,
sorts.
absolutely, it's a keepsake, it's whimsical, but it's not a use and throw product. Do not put it on your mirror. Keep it close and elevate your look with just smallest accessory making the biggest impact, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's beautiful actually. I'm very, very inspired to get one for myself, and I will.
You
But
should, you should.
yeah. I want to get something like for when I do videos on decoding Draupadi, I want a bindi
Yeah,
like
I will
yours.
send. I will
Something
send you.
red
I'll be
and
happy.
bright.
I will be happy to send you. Let me know what you
But
like.
yeah. Okay. Meghna, my last and favorite question to ask people is this. What is one thing you wish more people asked you? And what is the answer to that?
I loaded. I don't know. What could it be? Um, what should it be, babe? You've now spent 1 hour with me. What is the one question that you think I should talk about would that people should ask you
Up
more?
to you. What do you wish more people asked you about? Anything. It could be like what did you have for lunch today for all we care? Because I know
No,
you
I
had
don't
lunch.
care. I no, I haven't. I don't. But no, but what could it be? I mean, I'm gonna have to be thinking about this.
Arey.
Uh, I think like what people should ask me about, or
Hmm.
what people should know about.
Ask you about.
What people should ask me about. I just like okay. When are you taking the bindi to like when you're bringing it to the US or something like that? Is
Ah.
that like
When
yeah?
are
I
you?
want
When
to.
are you, Meghna? I
Yeah,
think
we
there's a
are
great,
hoping by
exciting
this
thing.
season we should be at least we are
Yeah.
sending out stuff already, but we want partners, distributors, people who also
Hmm.
see the project with the same kind of passion and
Right.
growth prospects that we do. So yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, when you bring the bindi to the US, like
Yeah. I
the
think
Bindi
pre-Diwali
project.
would be very, very fun for the US. In
Yeah,
fact, like
yeah, yeah,
Halloween and all of these
yeah,
events are
yeah,
also around the corner, you
absolutely,
know.
absolutely.
But no, super exciting, Meghna. This was very, very fun. I had a lot of fun. I also like okay, off the camera, I took a bunch of notes about you and your life
Thank
and
you.
everything that was
Wow.
interesting. So
Thank
yes,
you,
learned a lot.
Ashika. Thanks, sweetheart.
But
Thank you so
yeah, thank
much.
you so much for doing this. I had great fun. And yes, you can find the bindis online. They're online, right? Yes, they're
Yes,
now
yes,
online.
yes, 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 absolutely.
We'll drop links and you can shop these bindis for yourself.